Hey guys, so today we're going to be discussing, in my opinion, the state of one of the best real-time strategy games, Hearts of Iron 4. This is, in my opinion, one of the better World War II strategy games. I don't think it's the best. It's all up to personal opinion. I think personally that Hoi 3 did it better. It was more realistic and honestly, but that's like all personal opinion. It really doesn't matter. But the thing I'm going to be discussing here is the awkward state that Hearts of Iron 4 is in right now. Because, yes, as shown by the Steam charts, the game is growing in popularity consistently each month and each year, with a stable average player count going up every single year. However, there is a bit of a problem. The game is in a stale state right now. It's just very boring to play Hoi 4 for people who've had the game for more than like a year and a half. And there's three main reasons for this. The first major reason being the DLCs that have been released by Paradox have been terrible recently. Absolutely shit. And the second reason is the meta in Hoi 4 is just really unrealistic to World War II. And it's it's kind of lame, Like, why make a World War II game and then make it to where if you use World War II tactics, it's not really going to work. You have to use cheesy tactics to win, especially in multiplayer. And reason number three is the terrible optimization that the game has. First, we're going to be discussing what Hoi 4 is as a game, the player count, and all the basic details, and then I'll get into each reason later in the video. I'll put some timestamps below, but yeah. So leave a like if you're ready, and put your thoughts down below before the video starts, what you think about Hoi 4. Alright, here we go. Hearts of Iron 4, a real-time strategy game released by Paradox Interactive on June 6, 2016, right on D-Day. And they did not do that they did that on purpose, obviously, but yeah, no. Paradox Interactive released a World War II strategy game, their fourth in their Hearts of Iron series, and the most recent and the one that still continues to get content updates to this day as it's turned 8 years old now. It is now 8 years old. And it's about to be 9 in a couple months, but yeah, we'll talk about that later. But Hoi 4 has a very cool concept. You get to play as a country in World War II and lead them into the direction you believe would have been best for them, or if you wanted to be sadistic, purposely lead them towards failure. And in Hoi 4, you could do whatever you want. You can lead the Germans powering through Russia, or you could be the French holding the last line of defense on the Maginot as the Germans are trying to flank you through the Benelux. The story is yours. You could do whatever you want. And yeah, so that's basically the summary of the game and why the game is at the point where it's at. So we're going to get into my three main reasons to why I think the game is stale.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
The first major point I'm going to talk about are the DLCs. The DLCs before Man the Guns were actually pretty good. They added major depth, they had multiple focus trees, and they also sometimes, most of the time, reworked a major power focus tree. Recently, it's been terrible, especially Trial of Allegiance. That has to be the worst DLC ever released by Paradox.
Dude, if you think that's bad, go to
Google Hearts of Iron 4 DLC Trials of Allegiance.
This DLC, which normally costs $15, right now it's on sale for $11.99 as of October 3rd, 2024. It adds a whopping 3 focus trees.
That's it?
Let that sink in. 3 whole focus trees. You're paying $5 a focus tree. That is insanely stupid. They promised us a South American rework, and what we got was 3 focus trees, Chile, Argentina, and Brazil, and we had 2 formidable nations. That's it. That is all we got with this DLC. And I get it that South America really didn't do that much in the war, but you could have had some alternative history options like what you did with Death or Dishonor. That one had a lot of alternative history, and like you could have done stuff like that. You could have reformed the Austro-Hungarian Empire in the Death or Dishonor, but you guys, they decided to just go bare bones, 3 focus trees, And the only one that's even cool is Argentina. But you can't even do much. Like, there's nothing to do. Like, you would think with Senior Hilter there'd be some stuff, but there's like probably a little bit. I don't have this DLC. I'm not gonna buy this DLC. So I'm just reading the Wikipedia page. I refuse to pay $12 for 3 focus trees because that's a scam. Anything less than $3 is a scam for this DLC, and that's just unfortunately, that's all that these recent ones are. Blood alone is terrible as well. It didn't really add much. In my opinion, it made the game worse. It nerfed planes to the point where planes are more micromanaging than like everything else. And that's just so bad. And then that brings us to another major point. I think the funniest thing about Hoi 4 is you got to read the reviews on the DLCs. They are so fucking funny. Like, I'll read a couple y'all to y'all right now. Hearts of Iron 4 by bugs alone. I am finally getting rid of my horror 4 addiction because you made the game unplayable. Thank you for forcing me to get a life. I have Stockholm Syndrome, so I bought it anyways. I'm so sorry I asked for new peace conferences. Hearts of Iron 4 by Border Gore. I realized Hoi 4 was fun again when I just disabled the DLC. Historical focus is enabled. Italy loses the war in Ethiopia. Switzerland gets invaded by Italy. Switzerland anyone? I'd kill myself 10 times over before playing as Ethiopia again. This gives me confidence in my quality of works. If Paradox can make people pay for this, maybe my modding projects aren't that bad. Paradox interns first mod. Instead of buying alcohol, God forbid actual food, I purchased this just to give it a negative review. What? Worst DLC by far. As an Argentinian, this is offensive. Not even the states are accurate. Oh my god. Yeah, I could go on and on. Like, these DLCs get made fun of a lot. But I recommend you give it a read. There are so many in there that I just couldn't put in because of profanity and other things. But yeah, I think if you are bored one day and have 20 minutes to just browse Steam, look at all the Hoi 4 negative reviews and funny. They are pretty good. Alright, anyways, back on track. Let's go on to the next reason on why I think Hoi 4 is getting kind of stale. My second main reason for why I think Hoi 4 is getting stale is just because the meta for Hoi 4 over the years always has just been so unrealistic when compared to real life tactics and during that time period. The main point I want to make is, for some reason, anti-air guns on your infantry makes them shred through other infantry. Like, what? That shouldn't make any sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I get that anti-air guns are important for infantry to keep the CAS and the tactical bombers off of them. But, like, what are they doing with these? Are they just, like, loading them up and just, like, tilting them at the enemy and just lobbing flak shells at them? Like, there's no way that anti-air guns should do that much to infantry. And the whole thing of a Space Marine division shouldn't be a thing. Space Marine division, pretty much, if you don't know, it's infantry with heavier light, or with any tank division or any tank brigade with normal infantry. That's all Space Marines are. But if you try it yourself, this shit in single player is so OP, and in most multiplayer games are banned because they're just so overpowered for no reason because of the org. I mean, I get why in the game's code the org gives the tanks, a major buff that the other things like mobile infantry don't. And another thing, the support companies don't act as you think they would. Like, don't get me wrong, the engineering, recon, and logistics company, they all do what you think they would do. And obviously military police, like, some of them do what they're supposed to do, like you would think that they would do. But then others, like, they make less sense. So, field hospital, you would think would mean less casualties, right? No, all it does is trickle back. Like, you don't lose as much. When your divisions take damage, they don't lose as much XP. And they gain a little bit of health. And, like, logistics company you would think would help out with like the new logistics system, and it does a little bit, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they should do a lot more than what they do in the game. And the signal company I think is the worst. Like, you would think a signal company would help you with communications, you would think it would help with coordination and maybe have a buff with that, but nope, all it does is initiate initiative, which honestly, initiative you can get around if you have a general with the right traits and a field marshal with the good traits. You should be fine. You would never need a signal company. It's a waste of time and a waste of resources to put. But you would think that they would do something else, but no, they don't really do anything. Like, they don't do what you think. Like, you would want all of your companies to have a signal company, someone to communicate with the general, to add better communications. But nope. In Hoi 4, they're still using pigeons and fucking motorcycles to transport things and to communicate, because signal companies are useless. Oh my goodness. And that's not even mentioning nobody knows how navies work. At least, like, they don't have a good understanding. Like, I have a basic, I think, understanding of, like, you want at least for every capital ship you have, you want at least 4 or 2 light cruisers for every capital ship you have, and at least 4 destroyers for every capital ship, I think is what it is. I have no clue. Like, I genuinely have no clue. I think that's how the screening works. It makes no sense. Navy's no sense at all. It makes no fucking sense. And I don't. There's a running joke in the community that if the person who figures out how navies work, he's gonna get killed by a Paradox agent, because Paradox doesn't even know how fucking navies work. It's so silly, bro. Like, just tell us how it works or give us something to help us with it, you know? But yeah, no, that's basically it. It's just me. Like, that's just a personal one. That probably isn't the same for everyone else's opinion. You can leave your opinion about that, about the meta of Hoi 4 being not realistic. Yeah, just leave it below. But I'll go to the third and final reason of why Hoi 4 is not really getting like that. This last reason is not going to get to why it's stale, but like a major complaint we've had since the game has been launched.
Yo, TikTok, I won't be able to post no more because I I broke my phone, so I'm using my dad's old phone.
And the final reason on why Hoi 4 is it's been a problem since the release, but the optimization on Hearts of Iron is so awful. So to summarize this as quickly as possible, I have a pretty it's a pretty mid-tier gaming PC. I got a 5600G 6-core CPU, a RTX 3060 that I got on sale for like 200 something dollars, 32 gigabytes of 3200 megahertz RAM, and a 2 terabyte SSD. I'll tell you right now, if you don't have an SSD, good luck booting that game up. It will take fucking hours almost. Not really. It'll take you a good 10-20 minutes without an SSD. Because even a SATA SSD would boot the game up quick. A hard drive, Hoi 4 hates the hard drive. It hates it. It loads so slow. With a SSD, it loads everything like that, like that, like that, pretty quickly. But yeah, the main complaint is it doesn't utilize all of my hardware. And, obviously my CPU is not the best. But I can do most games, most modern AAA games at high settings at 1080p I'll get well over 60 FPS. In Hearts of Iron 4, I can't get above 30. I can't crack there. And that's with me putting my settings down to low to medium. I don't know why, but the way they program the game, it only utilizes 1 or 2 cores. If even that. Most of the time, only single core. So if you're like me, who has a AMD CPU where it really, really succeeds in multi-core performance, and it still does really good single core, but not as well, it hurts. But this is, if it was just a problem with like mid to low tier, it'd be fine. But I don't know anyone who can run Hoi 4 that well. Like, the game it's just, I don't know. I never had any problems with Hearts of Iron 3 running bad. I don't remember it running too terribly, but I just know even since day one, and especially with the new DLCs, the optimization to the game has just been poor. Like, it will not look good if you're not on a good PC. And even with me being at a mid-tier PC, I still barely crack 30 FPS when I press play. And I don't know what to do about that, because Vicky's 3, or the new Vicky game, they managed to get multi-core performance enabled. So the people who make the argument that, yeah, you can't really do a game like this with multiple cores, Vicky 3, they managed to do it with that game. Why can't they update this game? Why can't we get some of these updates? They're still in the works on this game. I don't think a Hearts of Iron 5 is coming out anytime soon. But yeah, no, I don't know. They need to just try to fix the optimization. It's horrible. All right, but that's pretty much all to say about the optimization. But pretty much to summarize everything, if they hopefully Germany gets a rework. I hope with the next DLC, if they release a new DLC, it comes action packed and has more than three fucking focus trees. It comes with not game changing, but like enough to alter the game to where you actually have to do things. With a naval one, you had to go and now you can design your own ships. With a tank one, no step back, being really good, it changed the game too. Like stuff like that that changes the game for the better. Not like the planes one where it nerfs planes and makes it awful. Because we if we want the game to keep growing the way it's at its pace, we need to have something new. We need to have something great because the modding community right now is solo carrying this game. But yeah, no, that's my opinions on the game Hearts of Iron 4. Let me know down below what y'all think about this. Leave a like and subscribe, and hey, share it to people. Share it to people you know. If you play Hearts of Iron 4 and you're interested in wanting to do like multiplayer game, I will start doing, maybe when I get a bigger YouTube channel, I'll start doing hosting multiplayer games on my Discord. And that also brings me to the you should join my Discord. I was actually amazed by my TF2 video. I got like 1.3 thousand views. That was insane. But yeah, if you want to be informed on future videos and you're interested in stuff like that, join my Discord. It's in the description. It's right there. You just click the link and join. It's free. There's no money involved. I'm not ever going to ask for money. Yeah, I'm also going to start streaming on the weekends. So if you're interested in watching me actually game, hey, tune in. My Twitch is also going to be linked in the description, and it's also linked on my Discord. All right, have a good rest of your week, guys. Sorry for the 2-week delay. I've just been really working hard on this video that I'm making. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be the best video I've ever made. And I had to redo the script because it was kind of bad. But yeah, no. All right. Peace out. Leave a like and see ya.